We better do that in pledge. Okay.
Okay.
Let's stand for invocation, then we'll have a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, Lord, for the privilege to be here tonight, Lord. We just ask whatever we do or say, Lord, will be for one purpose, and that'll be to glorify your name. Help each one of us, Lord, and give us courage and give us knowledge to do what we do. And may we always and forever give you the praise and honor and glory in Jesus' name. Amen. CJ, you want to lead the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
I would do the roll call.
Now then, the roll call.
Chair Moore,
Here.
Vice Chair Schreiner,
Here.
Ms. Holman, Ms. Gregory,
Here.
Mr. Morrell.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we're all here March 27th for the meeting, and do we need to approve the board of zoning minutes from the last meeting? If everyone's satisfied, I'll take a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried for the minutes from the last meeting. Is someone in the public here tonight that wants to say something? A lot of hands going up. Okay. Okay. We'll,
Mr. Chair, that would be just for items on agenda-related items. So if anyone wants to speak during this session here, they can, or there will be a public hearing during the item itself.
you mean from the speak right now?
Correct. If someone wishes to speak now, they can regarding the item on the agenda, or they can do it during the public hearing as well.
Anyone want to do that now, or you want to wait?
We have questions. And I have a statement too, but we also have.
Okay, come up and state your name, please.
I would.
Where you want?
Name and address for the record, please.
Okay. Thank you. My name's Kathy Bowersotz. I live at 155 Enoch Way. Okay? My situation's a little different. I've been involved in the Enoch Hills subdivision since the very first house was built in there. I'm a real estate agent. I've sold a lot of those houses, and now I live there. My biggest concern is multifaceted. We're talking about putting 12 units behind an existing home, which all of us were led to believe when we purchased our home, we were given the chance to look at what was around us and the zoning that was around us. And we all knew that, or at least my clients all knew, that there was the potential for some commercial development. There is no multifamily around there. And I understand that this is not high-density multifamily, but it's still multifamily. And in that regard, there's no assurances that what that multifamily is going to turn into. Is it going to be market rent rate multifamily? Is it going to be Section 8 multifamily? Is it going to be subsidized? Is it going to be age restricted? There's a lot of variables that have not been answered to us. And I mean, I personally, not that it, I mean, I'm not trying to be overly important here, but every morning I walk out my front door or I open my front door, this is exactly what I will see. By the positioning of my house, it is exactly what I will see. I have issues with the water pressure. Is the developer and the builder going to be required to put in some type of pump station, lift station, augmenting water pressure so that it doesn't affect us? Is he going to be required to do a nature berm of such a height that it will affect, but it will lessen, our view? Those are the kinds of things. This is going to have a direct effect on our property values. I believe that. Now, if it's a commercial development, that's a Highway 25, that, when you're doing comps and everything for existing homes, you take that into consideration. But multifamily directly affects value. It directly affects comps when you're doing that. So there's just a lot of things like that. Safety on 25. I mean, if you put 12 units there, the average home has at least 2 cars. That's 24 cars that you've got coming right out there on 25. It's hard sometimes of the day, usually in the morning and mid-morning and late afternoon. It's hard to get out on 25, and it's dangerous because there's some site issues there that need to be addressed. Is he going to address these? Is he going to provide for a wider space for a merge? I mean, those are the kinds of things that I'm worried about, and what it's going to do to my value, what it's going to do to my neighbors. I mean, that's important to me. And if y'all could help me with those answers and y'all could let me know, I would greatly appreciate it.
So this board, doesn't, just to be succinct, this board doesn't have those answers.
Okay. Where'd I get them?
That's going to be more towards planning. So this board is to make a decision to approve a conditional use permit.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So-
Well, I'm asking you not to approve that conditional use permit.
Sure.
Because of those factors.
Yeah, so I want to acknowledge everything you just said. Those
Gotcha.
are 100% questions I would ask if I lived there as well.
Okay.
But just from transparency, we don't have those answers.
Sure.
We don't know about the nature berm. Those are questions that I would, unless somebody has additional advice, I would say that needs to probably go back to planning. So
And
just
we
want to
would-
say we do acknowledge all those questions. We just don't have those answers for you here tonight.
Well, is there a possibility that you, as looking at this, can y'all send that back to planning? Everything that I've been able to find through planning and document and everything answers none of those questions. I mean, it's not addressed in there. So if it's not, is it just, well, he said he would, or they said they would, or they might not, because we kind of know that doesn't work out that way.
Okay.
Brian, could I get you to chip in on?
I'm sorry, right now it's public comment only. The board doesn't really respond for the public comment session. So if you can just make your comments, and then we'll try to address things during the discussion and the session, but
Okay,
you
well,
just
my
stick to
comment
making
is
your
for
comments.
these various reasons is why I'm asking you to either send it back to planning so that we can get more information, or to not allow it.
Okay,
the
we'll,
first place.
we'll
Yes, ma'am.
be on consideration, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could hold it to 2 or 3 minutes, if you state your
Yes, I
name,
can.
please. Okay.
My name is Matt Chapman. I live at 320 Hathaway Lane, which is directly behind the property that brings us here tonight. I don't want it to go to planning. In fact, it should not go to planning, period. My wife and I have lived in our house for about 3 years now. And one of our favorite parts of our home is just being able to sit on our back porch and looking out upon the trees and the wildlife that we have back there. And, if this proposal is approved, we will no longer have that enjoyment. Instead of the trees and wildlife, we're going to be looking down on some ugly triplex buildings. We're looking down, we're going to look down on roofs. We're going to look down on a parking lot with parking lot lights. Our master bedroom is right in the back there, so we will not be able to open our blinds anymore because of the extra light that we're going to experience. There's going to be an additional 14 families that are going to be living there. That's 28 cars within this tiny little property. The visual impact alone is going to ruin our property for the reasons why my wife Jen and I loved that home. The proposed plans make absolutely no sense for our single-family community or the property itself. The proposed plans offer absolutely no benefit to any of the surrounding homes. The proposed triplexes will not improve our value, but only negatively impact the feel, the overall look, our privacy, and the value of our homes. The only benefits of the proposed changes will go directly to the owners of the property. This proposal is nothing but a land grab for money. When changing zoning from a single-family property to a multifamily property, the burden should be placed on the property owner to show what benefits the proposal brings or offers the community, and they should have the burden of showing proof of support amongst the impacted area. Should not be the other way around. The burden has been placed on us that are here as the homeowners to show up and prove why this proposal should not be approved. We did not ask for this change. To them, it's not about making our community better. It's about making it financially better for them. We are the ones that have to deal with looking at these ugly buildings. We are the ones that will have less privacy. We are the ones that will have to deal with the more noise pollution, more light pollution, possibility of bad tenants, and the deterioration of our single-family community, not them. We just ask that you consider 3 questions. How would you feel if this proposal came to your home? Does this proposal add any value to the existing single-family homeowners and the surrounding community, or is it more detrimental? What value is being gained by the property owner at the expense of the existing single-family homes? If you're being honest, you would not want this to be next to your $500,000 to $650,000 single-family home. And the only benefit that'll be gained is by the property owner, while the surrounding homeowners have the highest risk of losing value, losing privacy, and losing what the community was originally intended to be, a single-family community. Due to these reasons, we highly oppose this proposal. Please do not go any further with it and take away what we love so much about this community.
Thank you.
Just real quick, I do have letters from some of our community members.
We have,
that could not be
we
here
have the
today.
letters.
Can you please make sure that these are in? Thank you so much. They're voicing the same concerns that we do in terms of safety and their concerns with our property values as well. Thank you.
Anyone else have a short comment?
I'll do my best to make it brief. Hi, my name is Margie Cornwell. I live at 324 Hathaway Lane. So my property also backs up to this pending proposal to put this rental property behind us. Me and my husband are both retired. We moved into this neighborhood a couple of years ago, thinking this was our retirement home, and now I'm really thinking that I have my doubts. We've been in places where they've had construction and they built these such type properties, and I will 100% guarantee you it will affect my property value. Depending on, it doesn't really even matter whether you put Section 8 or moderate rental prices, it still affects property value for those people that are adjacent or in that neighborhood. And you had a great plan. You built a great neighborhood. You know, like my neighbor said, you know, there's $550,000 to $700,000 homes in this neighborhood, and you're wanting to put cheap apartments in it. And I'm very upset about it. It also affects the noise level. I don't know about you, but I also am right there at that property, and rental people do not really care about property all the time. They're moving in and out. They're constantly making noise, and you have to consider that whenever you are moving into an area that already has this type of property in the area. And why would you take and put this type property in an area that is mostly single-family homes or businesses, like veterinary offices and doctor's offices. So there's lots of things that I know that you may not answer today, but there's also an increase in crime in properties that are rented. My husband's a retired police officer. I can pretty much guarantee you that that is a major factor in putting these properties in that area. So I'm not really happy about the fact that you may be affecting my property value. I think that property can be used for other things, and you as the zoning commission can stop it here and not zone it for this type of usage. And I appreciate you listening to me today.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can tell I just got off work and I do construction, so I know a little bit about this stuff. I'm James Cornwell. That's actually my stepmother. They moved there because, well, I'll tell you my address, 229 Hutch Court, same neighborhood. They moved there to be closer to their grandkids also, and to have a place they could play. But if y'all build that directly behind them, and there are people there, there are horrible tenants, I don't want my kids back there. This is a single-family neighborhood. The whole area of the street is. We do not need multi-dwelling units in that area at all. We've already got congestion issues due to the positioning of our road with another road across Hartsville Pike with the turning lane. There's already an issue with that. If you add another one, there's going to be wrecks constantly. The land that's there was wooded, and he cleared it all, except for there may be a little bit of easement there it's not shown on the diagram, I don't believe. There may be an easement there that has not been cleared, but you can see straight through now. It used to be a barrier. Now we got the retirement home down the street, so there's ambulances a lot going through there. And now without that being there, all the sound travels completely through there. We've got a retention pond at the bottom that collects water, retention pond. Y'all know what that's for. If they build that there, are they gonna pay for that? Are they gonna have to pump all their stuff there for the retention on their land? Because it's actually lower than that retention pond. So that's gonna mess up all that. And with our HOA now, that all of a sudden we have to pay for our own keep up for retention ponds. So, which I'm not used to at all. So, just bringing this in is just not a good idea. Whoever bought the property did a decent job of remodeling the existing house. They did a good job with that. It looks good. But now they're wanting to make more money, obviously, off the back land. I went to build a mother-in-law's quarters on my last house, and there was a limit due to the size of the property. And my property wasn't too much larger than that. It was outside city limits, just barely, right on the other side of airport. And there was still a limitation, and it was for one. And they're trying to put that many units back there, and I just do not see how that's feasible. So on that fact, I just think it needs to stop here today and just forget about wasting the city's money on going to the next part. So,
Thank you.
Podiums make me nervous. Just kidding. My name is Anthony Murray. I live at 289 Hutch Court. I was really excited about moving back. I had moved away, went to college.
Yeah, push it.
Okay. So I moved away to go to college, got a job in California. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I was really looking forward to coming back here, home. This is what I call home. And when I bought my house at 289 Hutch Court, that was going to be my forever home. I'm retiring at the end of the year. I have great neighbors. They make great comments. And for someone who left California because of exactly what you folks are wanting to put into play here, I'm begging you, don't do it. It's not going to work out. You guys are going to come back. You're going to want to put more homes in. You're going to want to rezone it. Because I doubt any of you in this room right here, sitting up here making these decisions, live in our neighborhood. Correct? So it's disheartening. I really like to be able to sit out back and not hear all the traffic and not be, just have a nice, relaxing cup of coffee in the morning and not hear a bunch of traffic whizzing by like I did. The very reason I left California to come back home. And I actually was raised about 3 miles down from where I live on Hutch Court. I know you don't want our comments and you want to keep it sweet and short. So kind of disappointing to hear that, because you guys work in the city and you guys have a responsibility to look out for us. And I don't mean any disrespect. I don't know any of you. You guys don't know me. But listening back there, it kind of hurt my heart a little bit, because none of us want it for good reasons. Not because we're grumpy old people, we just don't want the noise. It really isn't that. It's because we want the tranquility. That's why we bought in that neighborhood. That's why we spent $600,000 on our homes, right? Because I want this house to be my forever home. But if multi-dwelling units, and I'll be the first to tell you all, it was a mess in California, because here comes things you don't want. It's just facts. And I lived in a nice neighborhood, and I had to move because people were breaking into my cars and stuff like that. And so it hurts my heart. And I'm begging you guys to please don't build there. Please.
We're not doing it. We're not building. You said
I
y'all-
understand that,
y'all
but you have the
y'all.
power to say yay or nay, right?
And just to set the record straight, what Mr. Rose's statements were derived from is our bylaws, which states that we're not allowed to respond to you. We're allowed to take your statements into consideration and then have discussion amongst ourselves. And then what his statement is derived from is also our bylaws, which states that you only have 3 minutes to speak. So it's just a reminder.
So, and I thank you. To me, it's all red tape, right? I'm just a guy. I'm just out here paying taxes, trying to be a good neighbor, trying to be a good friend, and all that. And I appreciate it. I mean, no disrespect to you.
Sir.
Okay.
I really don't, because you guys have a tough enough job without us coming and complaining. Because I'm sure every zoning thing, you probably got people that are just like us, right, that don't want that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
You, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Anyone else? Please do.
My name is Jennifer Chapman. I'm at 320 Hathaway. My husband doesn't speak for me. I speak for myself. My property is right behind it. I assuming you're the one who's trying to build it?
No.
No. Okay. Maybe he's not here. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to go one step further about the land value, and I'm going to say my house will be unsellable if this comes in. Who in the world is going to buy my house when they have to look at this? What the plans aren't showing you is my house. He's just showing you his proposal. My house is right there. Why do I have to be the sacrificial cow for this guy's money pockets? It's not fair. I'm asking you guys to help us. You're supposed to look out for us, the little people. I don't have a big lawyer like he does. I don't have all this money to do all this stuff. And it just doesn't seem very fair. It almost seems unethical that everything, that to even ask for it to be changed to multifamily. Everything, you do a circle. I mean, we found out a week ago. This guy's been planning this for years. It seems like, first when he took down the trees, and then we asked for a copy of it. And we said, oh no, it's gonna take a week. You have to go down to City Hall to get it. Well, a week is now. So I did find it online. I found it in the meeting minutes. And even you guys have concerns. It says right here, there'd be 107 trips per day from all the traffic that's coming out of those houses. That's 35 parking lots. Have you driven by it? It's this little itty bitty land. It's not meant to fit all this. And all these cars are gonna come right up, their headlights right in the back of my house. Right there, all the noise, everything. I mean, what about me? What about, do I matter? I hope so, because I am super upset about this. This needs to be denied. This needs to just be cut out right now. It shouldn't go any further. And I'm begging you from all our neighbors not to approve this. And that's, I'm just so upset about it, I can't even speak more. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else before we leave this?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Williams, and I promise I will be brief. I live on 323 Hathaway Lane, and I think this also came as a surprise to us, and to me especially. I mean, thinking about the American dream, I'm an immigrant from Guyana, South America, who came and is trying to make a life for his family. I'm a dad of 6. Finally got a property of some value, as all of my neighbors have stated, well over 600,000. To then be faced with this a year later of owning the property, apartment complex, triplexes, to then devalue my home. I think the original intent should be kept as single-family residence, not triplexes, to echo all the concerns of my neighbors. So with that, I would sincerely ask that you seriously consider denying this proposal. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. I guess we need to get back to the regular agenda, and this is resolution number 2025-003, 1130 Hartsville Pike, conditional use permit is what they're asking for. And the owner and applicant request approval of permit for the multiple family use on 1130 Hartsville Pike per section 0605020 of the Gallatin zoning ordinance. Medium density residential district located north of Hartsville Pike and east of Enoch Way. All right.
Good evening, board members. Brad Hickman, staff planner. Thank you, Mr. Moore, for reading the synopsis there. Under general requirements for conditional use permits, section 15.06.040 of the Gallatin zoning ordinance, a conditional use permit shall be granted provided the board finds that it, A, is so designated, located, and proposed to be operated so that the public health, safety, and welfare will be protected. According to calculations from the Institute of Transportation Engineers Trip Generation Manual, the traffic generated at this location will increase 5-fold from what it is currently from this property. So based off of that, we believe the safety and welfare will be impacted. Condition B, will not adversely affect other properties in the area in which it is located. Staff believes there will be a considerable noise and visual barriers with this development, and these will represent a nuisance to the existing, as you can see here on the map, the existing residents at the back of the property and possibly the sides. The development was pushed to the back of the property in an effort to preserve the 2 existing residences on the front of the property that you can see here. So hence the proximity to the current residential homes that are there.
So the intent is to keep those 2?
The intent is, with those, there are 14 residences on the property. The maximum density for this property is 13.8, I believe.
14.01.
14.01.
Oh, I'm sorry, the density that they're achieving is 13.8, so it's right under the density that is the maximum. Other than going back to condition B, there are no multifamily developments like this in the immediate vicinity, so we do believe it would be harmful to the desirability of the other properties in the area based off of that. You do have 2 letters that the planning department received at each of your desks from residences voicing opposition to this. Based off of this, the planning department recommends denial of resolution number 2025-003. Thank you.
Yeah.
Two provided previously, and unless I miscounted.
Is anyone here tonight representing this Greenfield design? Probably not.
Jimmy, we need to open up another public hearing.
Another one now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone else open it to the public meeting? Anyone else have a comment then? Anyone else? Anyone else? 3 times.
Close it.
Close it to the, oh, okay. Stand up and come up.
That's all right.
Since I've already spoken, do I need, since it's open, do I need to speak again?
You may. It's part of the public hearing now, so.
Okay. My name is Kathy Bowersotz. I live at 155 Enoch Way. I am strongly requesting that this not happen for various factors, just like I have previously spoken with my neighbors, noise pollution, just our enjoyment of life. I mean, and I understand we need housing, but I don't think that we should allow one particular type of housing that will really degrade our neighborhood and degrade, in my personal opinion, degrade the look of that environment. I mean, that was the whole idea, that we spent the money there. We've invested money in our homes. We've invested money in the city. We invest our time and energy just like y'all do. And I really and truly hope that y'all will understand that yes, it directly affects us, but we also need to think about how it's going to affect our neighbors, the people that pull out onto that street, how many people come out from the neighborhoods across the street. And I mean, it's dangerous. And how many wrecks is it going to take for it to happen, for them to make a change if this is allowed? And I just think that our city has so much growth going on. We really and truly need to look out after the people that have invested in our city and the people that are coming to our city. And so I'm asking you, please do not approve this. Thank you.
Ice time. Anyone else for comment? No one else. So we close it. And the board, do you have any?
Now we probably need to hear from the developer.
Is he here? I didn't see no
Representative
hand.
of the
Okay.
developer, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Andy Leith, 114B, West Main Street. I'm not the developer, but I am their representative. So I'll address a few things, and maybe this will help neighbors in the audience, for some anyway. These are not cheap products that we're proposing. These are not low-cost construction. This is, and this developer has this product in this town already on Cotton Street, just across the road from Four-Way Muffler. So the rent is going to be market. I can't speak that they're not going to have Section 8. Section 8 is pretty much a thing of the past anyway. Anybody can accept vouchers for rent. But what he's doing right now, it's typical rent, market rate. I think they're like $1,100 or $1,200 a month per unit. So not necessarily cheap, but not expensive. It's affordable. The construction's all brick with architectural elements involved with and implemented into it. So if you go by Cotton Street, or if you know what I'm talking about, they look nice. And I'm not just saying that because I represent them. For a triplex, for something like this, they made them look nice. The developer intends to own them. The developer intends to keep them as their own property, not something they're looking to flip to somebody else. So that stated, they don't want headaches. You know, they don't want bad tenants. They don't want people there tearing their property up. So things like that take care of itself. I'm not going to say that no, somebody's not going to get rowdy, but there's just as much chance of somebody getting rowdy in one of the other neighborhoods as there is in this development. So as far as lighting, the one on Cotton Street does not have any exterior lights. We're not proposing to light the parking lot. It's just going to be a big shared driveway, just like it is on Cotton Street. I understand if you don't like the product. That's okay. We all have that right to not like it, to be subjective. But evaluate it from the facts. I know traffic has been brought up a lot. So I'd look today, 1,700 foot to the west of the driveway entrance and 900 foot to the east, or excuse me, 900 foot to the west of the driveway entrance and 1,700 foot to the east of the driveway entrance. Within that, you have approximately 89 units coming out of the woodlands. And I may have miscounted one or two, but that's plus or minus. You've got Long Hollow Baptist Church. It's got over 100 parking spaces, and I know they don't operate all the time. You've got 96 units coming out of Buffalo Ridge and Rocky Crest Drive. To the west, you've got 49 units coming out of Bell Breeze Place and 116 out of Enoch. Now that includes what's existing and what's fixing to be approved. So 116 units. When you add all that together, within a little over 2,000 foot of this entrance, there are over 3,000 trips generated per day. By the city's calculation, we're going to add 107. If you look at this, if you vote this down tonight, we'll come back and we'll develop single-family homes. Those single-family homes, if we get 10 lots, would generate 95 trips. So the difference in what we're proposing in single-family is approximately 12 trips a day. So I understand there's no way, and I'm not going to lie to anybody, there's no way we can add a rooftop without adding traffic. It's a part of what it is. But when you compare what it can be with the single-family versus the multifamily, this is using the numbers that are in your report that Brad presented. There's a difference of 12 trips. As far as property values, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm an appraiser. I'm not. These units will be set in approximately 20 feet below Enoch Hills. There's a 25-foot buffer between that belongs to Enoch Hills. So Enoch Hills subdivision has a 25-foot buffer that's in open space. We have another one on our side. So we're a good 50 feet from their property line for the building would. For the closest building would be 50 feet from a property line. I understand that still may not set well with the neighbors, and I understand that. But we are trying to do things to limit the impact. There is a buffer yard on all four sides. Well, it will take care of our own stormwater. This will not impact their HOA because this is not going to be a part of the Enoch Hills subdivision. I don't know if maybe there was some confusion there, but this is its own standalone. So hopefully I've addressed a little bit, but I'll be happy to answer your questions if I can.
Question? DJ?
Yeah, I had a question, unless CJ has something. If this part doesn't go through, the developer would still have intentions of single-family dwellings?
They didn't buy it to let it stay vacant. There will be something there. Yeah.
10 homes?
That was, I just took Brad's word for it. I mean, probably by square footage, we might be able to have a few more, but probably get 10 realistically.
Is per the zone, you could get that many houses, single-family homes.
My question, and I'm trying to remember, I know the staff report says that this was rezoned last year sometime. What was the plan that was presented at the time that it was rezoned?
So good. Whenever we requested rezone to R15, I included the sketch. However, the city does not require a sketch for rezoning.
Yes.
everyone knew about it, but at the time, the discussion was around to rezone it to R15.
The reason it was considered and approved by the city council was that it still met the condition, the character of what's on the character area plan. And there are similar zonings, so right across the street from this is zoned R15. So they did see it as at least compatible with the area,
I mean, there's R10 across the street.
or R10, yeah.
There's R10 across the street, there's R6 close by. I think Enoch is an R20 PUD.
That being said, a change to the R15 zoning does not automatically grant the property owner the right to do multifamily. That's why they are here before this board asking for the conditional use permit. And if the board sees fit to grant it, that's their prerogative. If the board does not believe that they have met the criteria for obtaining a conditional use permit, then it's their duty to deny it. So that's where you are now kind of in the process. You have to make the determination, does it meet the criteria of granting conditional use permits? And those were listed in your staff report, so hopefully you've been able to review that. And you have to determine that through your deliberations tonight.
Just with the applicant, if this was to get denied and then he goes back with an intent to do single-family dwellings, would he have to come back and ask for a conditional use permit for that?
No, he would not.
Already clear,
So
yeah.
would he have less barriers to
Well,
go that route?
He would be entitled to build single-family homes that met the zoning ordinance of R15.
I guess what I'm getting at is, he's got a path with hurdles to build to build 4 triplexes. Or he's got an easier road to just build 10 single-family homes. Is that
Yeah,
what
no
I'm
doubt.
understanding? You know,
Correct. The zoning would permit up to 10 dwelling units on the lot. Whether the lot currently could accommodate 10 lots is another story. You need 15,000 square feet per lot. And this acreage divided by
So he could subdivide this up, and again, I'm not trying to.
15,000 square foot lots equals 10 lots. You would have to account for the fact that there are 2 homes existing on the property already, and then whatever remaining acreage, it probably wouldn't allow 10 extra lots or 10 lots total unless they were to completely, it's just not accounting for the road. So, I mean, you would probably not get 10 full lots in there.
If it was subdivided into 10, it would have to come before Planning Commission with a replat. So that would be another step for them to do there.
I understood Mr. Leith correctly. Again, you're representing the developer. It's, something else will go there. It's what it sounded like.
Something will go there.
Triplexes or,
Single family. I mean, if it's not triplexes, that leaves you with single-family dwellings. I don't know if they'll even be compatible with Enoch Hills dwellings. That's up to them to decide whether or not. But we're not under any architectural constraints.
right, because this is
But
not
it's
part of
R15.
Enoch Hills. It's technically. Okay.
And again, everybody in here knows I get paid to do this, okay? I'm not the developer, I get paid to do this. From what was presented by the city of this being a safety issue, I'm in disagreement with that for the reasons I stated. This is a small drop in the bucket when it comes to traffic that's already on this road, and even within 2,500 feet. And compare that to what the traffic generated from single-family dwellings. It's going to be very comparable. The property values, I'm not going to argue whether or not they're higher or lower. I'm not an appraiser, but no one else has presented
Appraisal.
factual documentation. It's all subjective.
Where are these people located?
The developers, they're Gallatin people.
They are?
I think it's stated on the plans. It's the Hollimans.
Okay, okay. Any other question?
This still has hoops to jump through, though.
Yeah.
If it passes through tonight, then we have the same hoops to jump through that we would if it fails. We go to planning commission with a final master plan and meet all the
Question for the city.
technical criteria, and they make sure that what we presented tonight is enforced.
Only last question, and probably a question for the city then, is out of respect for the folks that took time out of their day to come up here, it still has to go back to planning. And
Yes, sir. It will have to go back to planning regardless if it's single-family or multifamily.
Yes, sir. And would the folks in the auditorium have an opportunity to go to the planning meeting to voice concerns there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
No.
We've closed the
Yeah, but
public
that
hearing
Motion,
now.
we done closed it to public.
But I'll just make one last comment to address, essentially saying that everybody would have an opportunity to go to planning to voice their concerns at planning, which would get them more answers than what this board would provide. Okay.
And just because the questions were asked, there will be a landscape screening. I'm not opposed to putting a berm up and planting plants on a berm. I don't think that's going to be an issue if that helps alleviate some of the impact. The neighbors to the north shouldn't see headlights because this is going to be like 20 foot down. That's from the property line, not from their house. So, or yes, it's from, so unless, you know,
I know I keep saying last question, but I'm getting there. You know the developer, in your opinion, is he gonna build a better product on triplex or single-family dwellings? Where's he gonna put his best foot forward?
right. Well, their mode of operandi is if they do this and it's the triplexes, they will build it. If it's single family, they're going to build the lots and they're going to sell them to individual builders, and those builders are going to build whatever they want. So what I'm saying is they're not going to control the single family build. They're just going to,
Okay.
If
that's how they typically work.
they go back to the planning commission and they deny it, it could still come back to us, is that correct?
No, it's not going to, if you guys pass, whether you pass it or not,
deny it,
we're not
yeah.
coming back to you guys.
Okay.
It's strictly planning commission, and to be honest, at that point, it's a technical review.
Drew, you got one more?
I'm out.
Any other question?
Thank you.
No other questions for the board? If not, I'm ready to entertain a motion. I'll make the motion, nobody else will. I'll make a motion that we deny this request.
Just a motion.
No, somebody here has to second.
I'll second it, Jimmy.
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta go off make your,
Ms. Alexander?
Aisha Alexander, Assistant City Attorney. Mr. Moore, with your motion, can you please make sure you give the reasons for it that follow under the ordinance?
Well, the reason is it's the people existing there, living there, has a great demand against it, and you've heard tonight what all it's going to interfere, and that's the reason that I made it to deny the motion, to deny the request.
I would recommend that you utilize
Use your
A,
criteria
B,
in
C,
your
or
report.
D in the staff report as opposed to what you just stated.
Yeah,
How about you making a motion then?
I didn't, I
Mr.
have
Moore.
a
I
motion.
withdraw my motion.
No, Mr. Moore, if you just look at your staff report, they gave the staff gave 4 reasons, or at least 2 reasons, A and B. If those are the reasons for which you're making this motion, just put that on the record.
That's A and B, yes.
Okay, then I would say, just for the record, reasons A and B of the staff report are the reasons you're making your motion to deny.
Yes, ma'am. A and B, that's the reason that I'm denying it. Make a
And I
motion to
second.
deny it.
Okay. And I'll second.
Jeannie second it. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. Pose?
No.
Did you say no?
Hold on.
No, I
Hold on.
I
Hold
think
on.
we should have went to discussion before
Yeah.
we,
So there were two ayes and 2 noes, is that right?
Well, just give Drew a minute here, okay? He hadn't one way or another, really. Okay, Drew.
I,
CJ?
if we're in discussion, this is, the reason why this is a difficult decision for me is because of the comprehensive plan for this area. Now, there are other factors that obviously go along with that. I don't think you can just use the comp plan as a basis of a decision, because the comp plan would allow for this type of development. However, I somewhat see the side of things where the adjacent properties, that there's a part of me that feels like that this property isn't necessarily ready to develop like this. But given the comprehensive plan that was, I mean, we spent countless hours creating, that's what makes it very difficult for me to vote in denial of this. Obviously, that's just my opinion.
Again, I would just remind everybody, think about not comp plan, not other things, but think about the criteria themselves. Do they meet the criteria or do they not meet the criteria? If they do, then you can approve it. If they don't, then you should deny it. Those are the only things that you should be considering. The zoning was already passed by the city council, so the comp plan is now not a consideration that you all have before you tonight. The criteria are the considerations that you have before you tonight.
Okay.
Jimmy made his motion to deny, and Jeannie seconded it, and I'll cast my vote in agreement with Jimmy and Jeannie, Jimmy and Jeannie to deny.
All right.
If you can just maybe recall the vote, or if you want to do a roll call or something.
Ma'am? Deny?
Am I next? Can we go in order of how we're asked for attendance?
We could do that, okay. Mr. Schreiner?
Aye.
Ms. Gregory?
Deny.
Ms. Morrell?
Approve.
3-1,
3 to
so
1.
you have your denial. Does not give you the resolution, so we have denied it, so that's 3-1, so that's it. That's the final vote, 3-1. Any other business to come before the board?
No, sir, we do not have any other business.
Have any announcements, Brian? Nothing? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made to second, and all those will be dismissed. Thank you. Thank everyone.